Welcome, everyone. This is Carlin Snipes with Pacific Life. Thanks for taking the time today to join the Capmar team and myself to learn about the $12 trillion need and how to close that gap. We will be walking through our policy review workshop and all the tools and resources that are available to you as a Capmar producer. These are tools that will help grow your business. There has never been a better time than today to talk about policy review. Policy review has been a hot topic for a long time, but given the COVID situation that we are all in, today the consumer interest in life insurance is almost at an all-time high. Consumers are talking about life insurance. They're thinking about their life insurance needs. Do I have enough coverage? What kind of policy do I currently own? Consumers are looking for opportunities and they want to hear from their financial advisor. From an advisor's perspective, we are all looking for ways to engage with our clients. Touch base with them. And now is a great time to do exactly that. When this crisis started, we went to our distribution partners and asked, how can we help you? What kind of assistance, tools, resources are you looking for today to provide financial advisors to help their clients? Across the board, the overwhelming response was, help us train our advisors on how to engage in a conversation with their client about life insurance. Policy review is certainly top of mind. As I mentioned, today the opportunity to sell life insurance has never been greater. When you look at the statistics in our industry, what you're going to find is that half of the United States, half of the consumers do not have any life insurance. When you look at American households, only 59% of Americans own any type of life insurance. And keep in mind, group insurance is included in this calculation. This means 40% of American households have no life insurance coverage whatsoever. Those that do own life insurance are dramatically underinsured. The average insurance gap is over $200,000. This gap is even larger with high-income households, over $400,000. When you look at the statistics from LIMRA, consumers have a favorable opinion of life insurance. 86% believe life insurance is good, and almost 70% believe everyone should own some life insurance. So why do we have a $12 trillion gap? We as an industry have done a poor job of reaching out to the mass market to distribute and market death benefit protection products. When you look at this country, it is amazing when you think about it. Our business is not saturated at all. Half of the country is an opportunity. They do not even own our product. And the other half that do own it are dramatically underinsured. This $12 trillion coverage gap is growing at a rate of $340 billion a year. Capmar will provide you with infographics that you can share with your clients to build the case about why you should provide them with a policy review. When you look at the numbers, what you know is that the need for life insurance has never been higher than it is today. But also think about the cost to acquire life insurance. It has never been lower. For those of you that have been in the business for 20 years or more, think about what term insurance used to cost 20 years ago, or 25 or 30 years ago. Think about how ridiculously inexpensive term insurance is today. In fact, you could go buy $1 million 20-year term on a mail for less than what you spend on a daily cup of coffee. Policy review is not just a way for finding new sales opportunities and selling more life insurance or replacing existing coverage. It is really about how you develop and foster a relevant, meaningful, and successful relationship with your client. How do you do that? And not just develop that relationship with your client, but with their family members as well. Ultimately, when you accomplish this, you position yourself in a role of trusted advisor, not only to your client, but to their family. This is a policy review can do for you. It's not just about selling a policy. It's about how to create relationships with your client and their family members to have an enduring relationship that will last years and hopefully then grow a very successful practice for yourself. My intent today is to provide you with a quick overview of our policy review program. We've broken the policy review down into 5 steps: the who, what, why, how, and the tools to support you during this policy review process. Let's talk about the who. So your book of business and prospecting leads. Due to COVID-19, you have a huge opportunity to call your clients who are more than likely working from home to discuss policy review. Let's consider the price of a missed connection. What percentage of women change financial professionals within 12 months of the death of a spouse? A, less than 20%, B, 34%, C, almost half, and D, nearly 70%. The answer is D. Nearly 70% of spouses change financial professionals within 12 months of the loss of a spouse. This is a huge number. Imagine losing 70% of your book of business overnight if something dramatic happened. This would be a big loss of opportunity and income. Simply by having a relationship with the other half of the couple, you could avoid this situation. It is very important to avoid the loss of a family's business. So let's take this a step further, the price of a missed connection. What percentage of adult children fire their parents' financial professional after receiving their inheritance? A, less than 20%, B, almost half, C, about 66%, D, more than 75%? The answer is C. About 66% of adult children fire their parents' financial professional after receiving their inheritance. Again, just by having established relationships with both parties in the couple and their beneficiaries, you can avoid this loss of business and create potential new business with the family. By not extending the relationship and gathering information, birthdays for instance, or even just doing the annual policy review, and in later years including little Bobby and Susie or asking mom and dad to bring their children in, making them a part of the conversation to build and foster that relationship. Now let's talk about the why. Why do a policy review? Why is it important? What are the benefits of it? Here's a list of some of the benefits of policy review. Help protect clients' beneficiaries from the financial impact of the client's premature death. This is really what life insurance is all about. Update policy beneficiaries. Maybe there was a divorce, maybe there was a death. Oftentimes, advisors are finding that by asking these questions, there are things the consumer hasn't addressed and needed to be changed. So these simple asks could ultimately result in a very favorable viewing of you as their advisor. Just because you are asking and calling about your client and their life insurance and how it is established and set up. This is the way you're providing top-notch customer service. We all in this industry want to provide top service. We pride ourselves on delivering the highest levels of service. This helps us stand apart from the competition. We want to give that service, and that policy review is part of the process. Consider advancements in product design and underwriting efficiencies, tax laws, and more. You could identify underperforming policies by performing a policy review, and this could result in premium savings for your client. Let's now consider the how of the policy review process. There are 5 easy steps to take when providing your client a policy review. Number 1, you identify the clients. 2, you prepare for the client meetings. 3, you meet with the client. 4, you calculate the life insurance need. And lastly, 5, you deliver a recommendation. Identifying clients. Your book of business is the first place to start. We know for a fact that insureds want to be contacted and have a policy review at a minimum of 1 time a year, with 2 times a year being their ideal. Having these reviews has a serious impact on the favorable outlook of the client for their advisor. So look for the ideal timing triggers that may signal it's time for a policy review. Major life events, tax law changes, new products, underwriting efficiencies, new mortality assumptions, carrier financial strength downgrades, increasing insurance costs, as well as early conversion opportunities. Secondly, prepare for the client meeting. You don't want to just walk into one of these meetings unprepared. Do the legwork before the meeting to know what to cover and recommend. Having current information like beneficiaries, face amount, underwriting classification, premium. Is their policy performing as predicted at the time of the sale? Get in-force illustrations. Ask your client to bring the following things: their current policy information, beneficiary, their marital status, what are their goals from an education standpoint, maybe retirement, assets such as real estate, stocks, and bonds, what are their financial obligations, as well as charitable intentions. Once you and the client are prepared, schedule the meeting to discuss your findings. Thirdly, meet with your client. The more you know, the better you will be prepared to develop strategies to help protect your client's family. Asking the right questions can help you uncover opportunities for improvements in their plan. Here are some sample questions to consider asking when you meet with your client. Since your policy was issued, have you had any significant lifestyle changes? Marriage, divorce, birth of a child, job changes, inheritance, buying or selling a business or a home, health change for yourself or your spouse? Have you started or stopped any risky hobbies? Another question to consider asking: is your life insurance up to date? Is your beneficiary information up to date? One of my favorites because it's an easy one to ask. And maybe there'd been a divorce, or maybe a designated beneficiary has passed away, but the client has not updated these designations. This is a simple change with no impact to the client financially, but a huge impact overall. Is the coverage adequate? Do they own the right type of policy? Is it a term policy or a cash value policy? Can they get the same coverage at a lower price? Have features or benefits changed and are more attractive ones now available? What about the rating and financial status of the issuing company? And lastly, will the policy stay in force as long as intended? The fourth step in a policy review plan is to calculate the life insurance need. Here are some different things you'll be thinking about to make the recommendation. These factors may influence your client's life insurance needs: final expenses and funeral costs, income replacement, marginal tax rates, mortgage and other debts, potential college costs in their future, the return on their savings and investments. What does their current retirement savings look like? Estimated inflation rate, as well as estimated return on investments. And how is their current in-force life insurance performing? To help you, we do have an online calculator available for your use. Just go to pacificlife.com to access. The fifth step is to deliver the recommendation. This is the last step. You went back, you did your due diligence, you ran the numbers, and now you're going to make the recommendation to the client. And depending on their goals, their financial situation, and their current coverage, you're likely going to make one of the following recommendations. No change is needed. You're reaffirming that your client's needs and policies are aligned. But you want to make sure they get back to you if there's any major lifestyle change before the next policy review. You recommend that they update their life insurance policy's beneficiaries, purchase additional life insurance coverage. They do not have enough coverage. Reduce the death benefit. Their current coverage is in excess of what they need, so you can help them reduce their premiums. You recommend transfer the policy to an ILET, or exchange the existing policy for a new one that has better features and benefits that would more suit the client's current status. Lastly, let's take a look at the tools we have available for your use to promote policy review. All of the information you see here is available on our landing page, but Capmar will be providing you access via their website. We have consumer-approved infographics as well as a high-level policy review cheat sheet. You may also access our field guide to policy review, email signature taglines, and digital ads. When you think of Pacific Life, keep these 5 things in mind to keep the momentum going. PL Promise Term. It's priced in the top 3 to 5 carriers out there. PL Promise Conversion UL provides an opportunity to get up to 150% of normal compensation on early term conversions. PL Smooth Sailing, our fluidless underwriting for consumers aged 50 to 69. PL Promise GUL, extremely competitive on shorter guarantees and offers a minimum face amount of $25,000. And lastly, robust e-capabilities that offer means to provide your client a fully touchless process. Here is a quick peek at your Pacific Life sales team. When you're thinking about where you would like to place your business, don't forget Pacific Life has been around for over 151 years, and we are a mutual company. our policyholders are our #1 concern. We offer innovative underwriting programs like Smooth Sailing and provide straightforward life products that are competitively priced. We provide solid, consistent service using technology like our e-capabilities. Thank you for your time, and please reach out to your Capmar team with any questions.